Hi Alessandro, this is Chetna, and we are here today to do a podcast called Simply Being by Niwwrd. And we're so excited to have you here, and we're so excited to know your story and your journey in design. So, first of all, thank you so much for doing this with us, and welcome.
Well, thank you so much, guys. It's a pleasure for me to meet you
And
and your community also.
yeah, I think a lot of people in our community know you, and you are a design leader in our community. So I'm really grateful to have this conversation with you. And so, why don't you start by telling a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Do you want? I can start from my career or my life because when I started this work was not my first plan, and in my life I have loved a lot my all is artistic or is mechanical, and when I was a child, my father teach me a lot of masters and like handyman, and I can do everything from electrical to mechanical, and I started from my 8 years old to assembling my first bicycle and then motorcycle and so on. This is the reason because during my way I have thought to start a different type of career in a creative way, but was not clear which way. And I started to study in an institute, in Italian institute, but was not like artistic institute, was more technical. And when I finished my high school, I thought to start an academic career or to start to have a university career, but for me it was more important to start to work, and I started to work in a dealer, an automotive dealer, because I want to start to have my money, to have my independence, and so on. And from that point, I have understood that cars will be my passion, but not only that. In this way, I started to to understand different way. And at the end, I started in Bertone as my first employee in this field, and was very crazy because the story behind this was that I started a private course on AutoCAD, and in this course in 2000, people and companies catch the best guy from this courses to start a career because there is no an official way to start a career in automotive field. And in that time, they hire guys that want to learn, and we learn from zero. And this is the way that we use more than 20 years ago when we start and we learn the masters inside the company, not at school. Yes, it's a
What's
crazy way.
No, I'm sure because I'm for me as well. I never intended to be a designer or just get into design. It was more of a escape. I didn't want to become a doctor that my parents were after my life force. So
Yeah.
I had to figure out an alternative plan, and I had no idea when I got into this industry. I didn't know what design was, and when I got into it, I think it's the best decision that I've made in my life till now.
Yeah.
So, so
Random choice are the best way for me.
yeah,
Every time to my student, to my guys in the office, my first word is you have to find the wrong way, not the, the right way. Because design is not the right way, it's the wrong way. Because you have to invent something new. Uh,
yeah, that's actually a very interesting way to look at it,
yeah,
honestly.
it's an impact word for me, but it works.
So, while growing up, was there a specific moment, an object, or a car, or a sketch that set you on this path?
It's difficult to say this, but for me, it's very important. When I was child, I started to work with Lego, like a lot of designer during their childhood. And for me, the important part is to create something new. And when I see a car, for me is a lot of part assembly in a shape. And when I see a car, I want to create something new, not better but new. And this is the reason, because every time I see a vehicle, I'm very interested about this type of vehicle. There is no in particular a vehicle that or a choice that move me on this path. But probably is the passion on the mechanical on the mechanical in general. Okay.
So, I mean, I'm sure there will be like moments, right, in your life. I know I do have a lot where I'm like, do I like just want to like give up and like figure something out, something else other than design? So, did you ever consider giving up on design? And if so, then what pulled you back?
Yes, it's very difficult, because when you choose this way, is not a way, it's a mission. Because a lot of designer choose this way because want to create something new.
Yeah.
And if you want to work in this field, you have to understand that how difficult, there's a lot of competition and so on. Every time you said, okay, it's not my way, probably you can understand also the opposite. Why is not your way? uh, because people say that, or because you are not ready in this moment to do that. You have to understand this, because you can work on your professional way, but not you can't work on your personal way, I think. If you are enthusiast, you can jump every difficult every wall. Okay. And yes, there were a lot of time where I thought to leave this path, but every time I find uh, new way, I don't know how to explain, but every time there's new project, new person, a new object that, or new instruments that you want to use or you want to do. Okay. And this is the enthusiasm that help you to cover this moment.
Interesting. So if I just had a thought, if you have to choose a car to design, like to tell about your journey, what car it would be and why?
You mean yeah, I understood. Yes, for me is Mercedes. I'm a Mercedes, because yeah, because I'm classic in my taste, and at the
Mhm.
same time elegant, and at the same time affordable, and there are a lot of things that are covered by that brand. And a lot of guys said, I would like to be a Ferrari or a supercar. But
Yeah.
for me, it's not like that. Speed, the speed or the performance are
Mhm.
for a very close moment, a very short moment.
Yeah.
If you want to work for a long time and have good result, you have to maintain your path. And you need to be stronger than other.
No, I think that's a brilliant choice. I think Mercedes is classic and you can just never go wrong with it. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I prefer that. It's a German car, and in the past probably would Alfa Romeo or Lancia, the same example. But right now, the daily the daily example for me is yeah, Mercedes, I think.
So you worked at a lot of design powerhouses like Bertone, Fiat, and Ferrari. So how did these experiences shape you or challenge you? Because I'm sure all of these places had something to provide, like something to offer you, and also I'm sure you have learned a lot from these places.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like?
Yeah, when you start in a company, every time you start on different way, different colleagues, different ambience, scenario, and so on. You have to learn in every place. I think that there's a big division between design center and company.
Mm-hmm.
All company right now have a design center, but in the past when I started to work, the company have no design center inside. Their design center are Pininfarina, Bertone, or others,
Mm-hmm.
Ital Design, for example. And this is different because the mentality in a design center is more design leading. The mentality in a company is engineering leading.
Okay.
It means that in a design center you can explore more teams, more design, more, and you can the project manager in that case is a figure that follow you. In a company is totally different because you have to cover technical part, you have to follow engineering, you have to follow the project manager and the marketing, and it's totally different. The creativity is the lower phase or is covered by all these other questions or situation. And you have to learn how to manage this different approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the past, when I started to work in Bertone and they teach me all the master,
Mm-hmm.
and for me was very beautiful because I learned the master of design in a one of the most important house of design, and it's very important because I learned from the old man that worked for Nuccio Bertone for the old category of designer, and at the same time I started to work with a new company that worked with the new software, new tools, and was a milestone for the automotive field. And I was 20 24 years old in that moment, and you are very open to all, you understand everything, and
Yeah.
this was a good match for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason because right now it's very simple to move in a different way or with different clients. But for example, in Bertone, we explore, or Pininfarina, we explore the design until the design is good, was good. Okay, in Ferrari or Fiat or other company, there is an expiring date. Okay, you have 1 month to do this, and
Yeah.
you have to do that job in 1 month.
Got it.
And if you are ready to do that in that moment, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes designers need to have more time or have bad days and have no creativity. Okay,
Yeah.
this
Got
is the very challenge that I have learned. Okay, how to manage the time.
how to manage the time. I think that is something that most of us are struggling with, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so in this journey of yours, where you have worked with like so many different powerhouses, who were the biggest mentors or creative influences during those years for you?
Okay. Uh, it's a difficult question because I have met a lot of good designer,
Mm.
but also good employees that usually work behind the big lights. Okay, but I think that two designers teach me the most important part of my career, and one was Anders Warming,
Mm-hmm.
that at that time in Bertone was a leader in advanced BMW,
Mm-hmm.
and they worked on at Stile Bertone on different important model like Mille Miglia BMW, or
Yeah.
was the first impression of the X6 SUV,
Wow.
and was an important milestone for BMW and for Bertone, and also for me, because I have learned from Anders how we can manage the volume and few lines to define a model, a new design car. That was a very important part of my careers because I have understood how it's important to use 3D modeling in virtual to understand the shape, the lights, the shadow, and so on, and also how it's simple to design three lines to have a good design impression, good layout. And the second person is Matteo Gil, is a half English and half Italian man that was the reference of one-off in Ferrari, one-off project in Ferrari.
Mhm.
And when I started to work in Ferrari, the design center was like three, four people. Okay, it's not like that. Was the in 2008 was Pininfarina, the official design center of Ferrari, and we are three, four people that start to develop the design center. And Matteo Gil was very important because he teach me how to manage person, colleagues, engineering, how to be quiet during the camping, the, a lot of dangerous moments because it's very hard. It's very hard to manage a lot of engineering parts and needs for marketing in a huge company like Ferrari. And he teach me how to manage this stress and how to work with a smile with all colleagues. And this is very important.
Yeah, that's actually really important because when you're working,
Yeah.
because I feel that design is not about one single person; it's about the team,
Mhm.
and to actually have that kind of understanding in your team is really important. And to work with different people and understand that they have different perspectives and
Yeah.
respect it is something that you take a little bit of while to understand and learn, and there is a journey that is involved in it. So that's beautiful. But I'm sure that where you had your ups and you had so many learning experience, you also had your failures. So what was the most hardest or most humbling lesson that you have learned in those environments?
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important to manage the team and also to work with other person because the project usually is created from a group, not for. We are not island. We said every time that, and we need the help of all people around you to arrive at the goal and the final project. Yes,
Yeah.
this is an important lesson.
So let's talk a little bit about your studio
Mhm.
and what pushed you to start your own studio, and was it a creative frustration or was it a dream, a long held personal dream?
Um, it's difficult, but also it's clear for me because I started my freelance career because I thought that I have learned enough, and from that moment I decided that was the right moment to push to teach, not only to learn. After 8 years, I understood that in Ferrari, I understood that I learned a lot, and I can probably I can give more on the market and propose my idea because when you are complying every day and say, okay, I'm not agree with your design, I'm not agree with this and that, you can just do away, or you comply yourself and with your colleagues, or you decide to change. And change for me was to open my own studio, my own path, and decide to create my own design language or design ideas. Okay, and probably it's frustration, yeah, to work with a company that don't understand my idea or don't want to explore or can't explore because if you work for a brand, you are closing in that brand. But if you choose to open your studio, you can explore your idea, and your idea, your clients are free without marketing rules or other like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the taste of your clients, of course, but you can decide. You can design your way, and probably yeah, is that the first idea. And the second is that I don't love to work a lot, and I don't love to work without reason. Okay. In a company, sometimes you work more than 8 hours, more than 10 hours per day. You work on Saturday, on Sunday, for strange timeline, and I don't love that. I prefer yeah, to work in my time, and also in my studio we don't love to work over than 80 hours per hour, and we have no rule in the office, and I think that the creativity needs to have more freedom, and in this way for me trips or holiday are very important to regenerate my creativity, and this is another important reason because I leave the company field. Yeah.
So, was it like difficult for you to shift from being a designer to a founder? Because as a designer, uh, even though you have a lot of constraints, but you don't have to manage people or manage finances or
Yeah.
take care of external things. But as a founder, you automatically have to do that. So, how did you mentally prepare yourself for the shift from being a designer to a founder?
Yeah, it's very strange because mm, also right now we are not ready for this. But every time you are not ready for a jump, for a different choice, you have to. It depends on for yourself. For example, if you work in a company after learn the master, you become a team leader or a leader, and in that moment you are like a founder because you
Yeah.
are managing a team, you are managing a timeline, you are not managing the economic reserves or something like that. This is another important part of the the transition. When you start, all is beautiful. After 1 2 years, you understand that it's not so beautiful in this way because you have to pay taxes and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, your honeymoon is a very short, but anyway, you can understand, and year by year you can correct your way. You can understand better different tools that you have to, or different people that can help you around you. You can hire people that help you in this way, but it was not so difficult for me because step by step I've learned a lot of part of the process.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, with my wife that started with me at first,
Yeah.
and he decided to help me in a financial way, and this is the perfect division because I'm the creative part of the company, and my wife is the person that hold the money and manage the money, and we know the women are the best way in this way. Yeah, and we are a family studio, and we trust each other, and was very good in this way because there are a lot of things to manage, and
Yeah.
or you can choose to hire people to do this, or you can learn. Uh, Today we have a tutorial for everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
so nice.
yeah.
So, but I'm sure there must be a moment in your journey as a founder where you thought, that okay, this might just not work, like I probably
Mm.
there is something which is wrong and I can't do this.
Mm.
So how did you like deal with that? And if there was a moment like that, how did you deal with that?
Yeah, every time you lost a client or the situation change, you have bad thought. It's totally different respect employees. Employees have the warranted salary and so on. They can wrong something. They can have different solution, but if you are a founder, a company leader, you have to understand that if you lost a client, probably you are in trouble. In this way, every time you have to understand new way, new method, new field. It's so difficult because after that, if you have a plan, if you set a path, the environment change. And for example, the COVID or financial crisis, war, and in this year we saw a lot of this situation,
Yeah,
and for me it was very difficult to set a different path, different managing of this situation. But step by step, if you choose this way, you are able to change and to adapt your business and yourself to this way. It's like to surfing the waves. Okay, you are not sure what happened. It's not for people that want to be too much logic. Okay, it's
yeah,
more yeah. It's totally different. There is no a rule to respect, or but every time you think, okay, I'm wrong, or it's the right moment to close everything.
yeah,
uh, the destinies change, or something's new happen. It's very strange. It's like magician. I don't know, but sometimes when you decide, okay, it's too much, I want to change,
yeah,
on your door knock a new client and say, okay, I have a beautiful project for you. Okay, and you say, oh, you rise. Okay, perfect. We can restart. I don't know. It's by yourself. Okay,
Mhm. Hmm. But that's amazing to have this kind of a optimistic mindset
of
is
course.
is very important. So what has been like what has being a studio owner taught you about yourself that you never discovered as a designer? Because they are like two different roles, right? And you face completely different challenges when you are a studio owner, and you face completely different challenges when you're a designer. In your case, I mean, more like both of them overlap, but what has been like this one thing that you never thought about yourself, that you could that you discovered as a founder?
Okay. Yeah, it's very hard. It's very. Um, yeah, I started to appreciate the timeline, of course,
Yeah.
because when you pay designer or you pay for the services, you understand better the timeline and how to manage the correct way. When you are employees or in a company, you can move your design until infinity time. Okay, but when you are the founder of your studio, you have to optimize everything: cost, person, salaries, and so on. And when you see, it's curious, but when you see people around you, you see money. You see, yeah, it's like credit that are lower respect you need. And every time it's when I speak with my guys in the studio, I say, guys, we have 1 week to close that, and they said, but you are not able to do this in 1 week. I know, guys, but we have only 1 week. uh, yes, it's very difficult. I understand. During yeah, my career, if you start a career as a freelancer, you can understand better what happened in the other side. Okay, your bosses, how is the mindset of your bosses. Every time when you are employed, say, okay, my boss is an ugly person, I hate him. But when you become boss, you understand better the problem that you have to manage every day.
Yeah.
And you understand that your boss in the past were not so ugly or yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, the time probably is the word that is most important in the changing.
Mm. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting because
the value of the time. Okay, the
yeah.
value of the time.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting insight for me as well because while you were talking, I was trying to like think about myself and me as a designer, and I realized that okay, time is probably one thing that you know I still don't have a hang on,
Mhm.
and I'm still trying to figure things out for myself as in when it goes. But you have a lot of experience, and you have spent a good amount of time designing and working with different people and different companies, and now you have your own company, right? What How would you define your design philosophy in a sentence or even maybe an image or a visual?
Yeah, I think the volumes are my rules because I started as a 3D modeler, 3D designer, and for me it was very important to understand the volumes, the light and shadow on a shapes. And this is our philosophy. We prefer to develop the design on 3D because we can understand better the all the shapes. Okay,
Yeah.
if you are only a designer that spend all your time on the drawing, after that don't understand very well the three-dimensional way.
Hmm.
And in the past, we have the opportunity to see that in a company like Bertone, Pininfarina, we have all the masters inside a company. But right now, designers work on their desk or they work in a smart working situation, and they can learn the contact with the real shape.
Yeah.
And this is very important because if you are not yeah, not ability in that, you create boring shape. Okay,
Hmm.
this is more important. But volumes for me are very important.
Hmm, interesting. I'm now more curious about the next question that I'm going to
Mhm.
ask you. So, is your creative process led more by emotions, logic, or structure?
Emotion. I think logics is not a word that we use in a design center. Absolutely, because logics is a limit, is a chain, is a box. We have to follow a method. Okay, method
Yeah.
is the word very close to the logic, but the method, our method is like a random method because every time we start from sketches, but
Mm,
after that we develop the project, and sometimes the project suggests us something new,
mm,
and it's not a logic path because you start with a drawing with a shape, and during the modeling, during the development of the project, you can understand that you can push more in a direction or leave an intention because it's not good, and this is not logics. It's only perception. Okay, it's only tastes are words that you can't describe in a, on a Excel file. Okay,
yeah.
and it's very hard because this is the heritage of our field. If you learn this type of heritage,
Mm,
you learn this heritage from father and son. Okay, in this way, is that method. Okay,
mm,
it's not the method that you learn a master in a school or on a book. Is impossible for me because you have to learn the tricks and other words that you don't know in this moment. If you
Yeah.
work in my studio, for example, you will learn Italian words to describe style. We have a lot, we have 10 words to say the same things that you can describe in English in one word. Okay, this is the value different that you can understand here, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. That's um yeah, I mean, I always thought that being a founder would instantly change your thinking process or your philosophy to being something which is more structured, because I thought that, founders think in numbers,
Hmm.
because, like you said, you start looking at people as if they're money and where you can get it from. So I always thought that for most of the founders, the philosophy would be more about being or having some sort of a structure. But when you said that it's led by emotions, I was very curious. And then you said that having that cultural influence on your design and giving that a little bit of a nudge to make you go through your journey is important. And I understand that now after talking to you. So that's definitely a great insight for me.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's also strange because uh, as a company you have to manage a number, okay?
yeah,
But
exactly.
as a designer you have to manage only other things that you can't see. Okay? And if you are the same person to manage all is very difficult. You have to divide yourself into two phases. Yes, it's hard. It's hard, but the best way is not become slave of the number. Okay, in this
Mhm.
field.
Got it. So I actually had a little bit of a opportunity to look through what Camel does and the kind of projects you deal with, and I realized that Camel works on everything from hypercars to industrial forms, right? So what's that one thread that ties it all together?
I know. Sorry, I understood right now. Uh, the situation is different because in a design center you have to be ready to change every day, every hour in a day. And a lot of guys in my office change project also 2 times in a day because we
Oh,
have to, yeah, because we have a line, a process line
mhm.
sometimes. If a guy is a good sketcher or a good 3D modeler, have to manage a part of the project, or other guys are better in render or polygonal modeling and something like that.
Yeah.
This is the reason because the mentality inside the design studio is totally different. It's like food. You eat everything you have on your plate. Okay, it's not a problem. If you ask me to create a lamps, I can create a lamps. If you ask me to create a boat, I can start to create a boat. It's different the approach
Mhm.
because you have to be ready with a good base, good environment, a good knowledge on that field. Because if
Yeah.
you start to create a yacht, you need to know 3D dynamics and other things. Don't create only a concept, but a real concept, a real design. Okay, this is the difficult to change, and probably the unique line that connect every project is the knowledge in a technical way. What is behind the design? What is the right method to manage the information, the technical information, and to move this information
Yeah.
through the design in a real model. This is,
Mhm.
yeah, this is probably the unique line.
That's very interesting, because um, I have like looked at different studios, and whenever I look at different studios, there's always, and a lot of designers, they also, or founders, they also talk about having one philosophy that they try and follow throughout their designs and projects. But I could never grasp that idea, because in my head, I was always thinking that how can you have one philosophy for different projects when the design intent of every project is so
Yes.
different
Yeah.
and the expectations from your client is so different. But I have, at least in my experience, seen or heard that they would talk about, oh, our studio follows this philosophy and we continue to follow it in all our projects. And I would always be very confused, but I think when you explained it, it made more sense, because it's I feel every project needs to be treated special, and it holds a reason why you're doing that project, so obviously it will have some amount of difference.
Yeah, and also you have to think about that there are a lot of designers that open their design house or design studio as a designer, um, and they push their name and their philosophy like their style. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a misunderstanding because if you want to open a design studio, you have not to push your name but your philosophy in terms of method of work, and you can transmit this method, the brand method, the family feeling on
Mhm.
your employees. Okay, this is
Mhm.
what I have done in CAMAL. I have created CAMAL, that is my surname and my name, Camorali Alessandro. Okay, it's very easy, but it's not my name and surname. It's not my style. Okay, every time I suggest to my guys in the studio to push their style, their idea, and this is the refreshing that we can have every time on every project, to have new guys, new talent guys that push with their ideas. Okay, because if you think like Pininfarina or Bertone, in the past they create soft volume, hard shape. If you
Mhm.
think Gandini, for example, Gandini was a designer, okay, that
Yeah.
have a philosophy. His style is very important, but also like Giugiaro are more boxes design, okay.
Mhm.
But if you think Bertone and Pininfarina have a long history behind, and they have a lot of designer inside that have
Mhm.
different philosophy. Okay,
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that
this,
makes sense.
yeah,
That makes a lot of sense to me. Yes.
yeah, this is my mission to recreate that ambient where designer can develop themselves and
Mhm.
also help the studio to change the its theme. Okay,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. So, how do you decide when a design is finished, or is it ever finished?
yeah, it's hard when the money finish usually or the time finish. Yes, it's very hard to
Mhm.
understand when the design is finished, because you can work on that every time. For example, I love also to write book,
Mhm.
and every time I reread my book, I want to
Mhm.
change everything, every time.
Yeah.
And the design is the drawing design 3D modeling is the same every time you check, you want to change,
Hmm.
but sometimes the group is very important, the team is very important because people understand when is enough,
Hmm.
and as a leader of a team or as a boss of a team, I have to understand when the time is finished or when where is good enough. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes designer don't understand this,
Hmm.
and they move the project over until it's a crazy moment, or people don't are frustrated for this and so on.
Hmm.
I think that it's a combination of a lot of things, but the group, the team, is
Yeah.
more is the most important part of of the process to decide to finish a design.
Got it.
And as a boss, you have to earn this and you understand
Hmm.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. No. If I let's if I talk about all the different projects that Camel has done, right? So you have Tabito, Ramusa. They all have different distinct languages, right? They
Yes,
have
yes.
distinct design languages. So which one challenged you the most, and why?
Okay. In the recent way, in the last 5 years, we have worked more on one-off cars and a special project.
Mm.
A milestone for me was the Aznum Palladium. Was a luxury limousine all-terrain that a private client asked to me to create for itself. And was a crazy project because there were no reference on the market for this dimension, because we created that car on a Dodge Ram, and
Mm.
was one of the huge car on the market.
Mm.
And it's very difficult for Italian people understand this project, because it's a huge car and very luxury car. We are not the right place to propose this type of car, but it was a challenge for the studio and for me to
Mhm.
balance that car. Another project was the Bermat GT
Mm.
Pista. Was a race car that we have created from white paper with a motorsport company called Jazz. That's very important in the motorsport. And we understand, we learn a lot of
Mm.
technical points during
Mm.
that job. And it's very important because our team develop a lot in that way, because we are good designer, but to become a good designer, you have to add more technical information, because in the opposite way, you are only an illustrator, not not a designer.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one was absolutely Jamaro. Jamaro is the new brand, a new Italian brand of V12 engine car,
Mhm.
an hypercar project. We are involved in a design process, and we create this supercar with a lot of work behind, and was another milestone for our office, because at the end we unveiled this car that was very important to become a design firm on the market, because
Mm.
for me it is very important, the brand, the CAMAL
Yeah.
Studio brand. And
Mm.
in this way it was very important, and also because it was a supercar, hypercar, and
Yeah.
every time every design wants to design a hypercar. I think for me all sons are the same, but
Yeah.
for other people is more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a project that you've done that never reached production but is like really close to your heart?
Uh, there are a lot of projects, because sometimes projects start to be real, become real, and or clients finish money, or something's wrong happen, and when you start a project, you put everything inside the project.
Hmm.
You use your best idea, okay?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
squish your lemon inside that. It's not it's not a rule when you say, okay, this is a second line project.
Yeah.
I give that last idea. No,
Hmm.
in that moment you reach all your best idea and you put this idea on the project. And this is the reason, because it's a pity to don't see
Hmm.
realize it this type of project.
Yeah.
But I think motorcycle projects are more important for me, because I created a moped in 2015 called
Hmm.
Bicicletto, and
Hmm.
was a bad moment, because was the first moment where moped and pedelec starting the train, okay, but are not ready.
Hmm.
But after that, I have to create a motorcycle, because I love motorcycle and I love custom motorcycle. And but it's very difficult on that market, because there are no some money for this type of project. And
Hmm.
the pity is not to explore with our experience motorcycle brand. This is my uh, the lost opportunity. Yeah, we have created a lot of concept, but we don't see a lot of realizing.
Mm. So if I have to ask you this, um, do you find more joy in designing for clients or in a camel's more expressive, experimental work? Which would
Yeah.
you prefer?
Uh, yeah, when you create, yeah, a concept for yourself, it's better because you decide for yourself and you lead the design, and all the choices are the beautiful choice because you chose
Mm,
for yourself. Yeah, during the concept, internal concept that we did, we push our best idea, and
mm,
we push also what we know that we can't produce. Okay,
mm.
and this is very important
Yeah.
because, for example, we have created a concept project called BAT 80. It was
Mm,
a BAT mobile created for the anniversary of the comics, and
mm,
but was only a trick to explore what happened on a car without an engine, with the electric power train. Okay,
oh.
and we try to explore new proportion, new layouts in that
Mm,
joke. Okay,
mm.
and we use this type of experiment to say,
Yeah.
we have created a map, mobile, but at the same time we are exploring new language to move in a production way. And this is the trick that we usually use when we show our concept, to explore something that is not ready to sell. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
but we have to learn because we have to find new way for the next 5, 10 years of design. And to do this, we have to explore something that you in this moment you don't understand, your client you don't understand.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
do this, we have to use camouflage, different method to show this type of car. And
Yeah.
sometimes clients or designers say, okay, it's very interesting, but
Mm,
people on the street say,
yeah.
what's bad? I don't understand this. What is this? Okay. But
Yeah.
for us, it's a test to understand what will happen in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously really important. Otherwise, how, as a designer, are you going to push yourself and see what next is going to be coming, and how, what next, or what can be the future of design? Because if we're stuck in our own boxes
Yeah.
and we don't like push ourselves to go beyond, it just the I don't see the point of being a designer.
No.
But saying that,
I'm sorry. Also, because, for example, we have showed the last year a concept called scoperta.
okay,
Scoperta in Italian is like unveil, is the word to say unveil. But at the
okay,
same time, scoperta is a car without the roof. Okay,
oh, hmm,
it's a double meaning of the name, but we have created this car as a classic barchetta style,
mm-hmm.
very soft volume, very organic shape, and so on. In a moment where all designer create very sharp shape,
Mhm,
80s shape. Okay,
mhm, mhm.
why? Because we have the message is the next generation of
Mhm.
design is different, will be
Yeah,
different,
yeah,
not sharp but probably soft. Okay,
yeah,
and
yeah.
also to transmit a different message in this world. Okay,
Mhm,
to be quiet, to be more soft, to return to the heritage. Okay,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
design is also a message. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. But when you work with like experimental projects and when you try and push yourself, a lot of the designers, including me, we face these, what we call it as creative block, or burnt out, and um, we just cannot work anymore. So how do you manage your creative lows?
There is no receipt or there is no rule for this, but
Mm-hmm.
every designer have their quiet place to
Mm-hmm.
refuge or to regenerate their creativity. For me, holiday trips around the world is a good medicine because You can learn different culture, different color, different place, and you can bring these ideas. You can combine, because you have to remember that design philosophy, you said, is a addiction of all your experience. Okay, and if you stay at home every day, every year, you can see other culture, other materials also. For example, if you explore different part of the world, you can meet different culture, and also, for example, if you have to create a car for American clients, you have to understand what is the American market or the Americans, and
Yeah.
you have to meet them. You have to spend time in their country, eat their food. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because if you eat food in America and you eat food in Italy, is totally different. And yeah,
100%.
and from that you can also understand why we are happy every time, and not when you eat American food. No, I'm joking, but yeah, it's different. It's totally different.
Hmm.
If you visit India, if you visit China, if you visit Saudi Arab, different culture, different color.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
also different color. I have
Yeah.
a lot of students in the past
Mm-hmm.
from India that create this beautiful car colored with all color. And I remember you have a celebration with all the dust colored. I don't remember the name.
Holy?
Uh, yeah, in India there's a beautiful event where there's the dust, colored dust. They blew
Mm-hmm.
the colored dust. I don't remember the name. And you can see this part of culture, the colored dresses and something like this, on the drawing, because they usually create colored design. But if you ask to a Scandinavian designer or American designer, they create like European design with the gray, white, or nuance of gray. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
more simple in this way. Yeah, every culture is different, because if you have to
Yeah.
propose your design to a different country or different people, you have to know your clients, your market. Okay, you
Yeah.
have to explore, and this is very good, because if you have time for yourself, yes, like you have freedom to other work or job, you can recreate the creativity, you can think different. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. No, that actually
quick
is
up.
very true. Yeah, no, because
Okay.
I also feel your culture and where you come from uh, really influences the way you design. For
Yeah.
me as well, like being a brown designer, a lot of my design are inspired by the place I come from or the way my childhood has been. I look at people, I look at emotions from that perspective because that's all I know right now. And
Mm.
if I have to design for a new culture or a completely different country, I would actually struggle a bit because I don't know much. So until and unless I really do understand their story and where they come from, it'll be difficult for me to design. And also they won't have that kind of emotional connect that I would want them to have with my design. So I think that's extremely
Yeah,
true.
it's so complicated. I would like to give you an example. When I teach it in a workshop to CAD University in US, I have a
Mm-hmm.
class of 25 guys,
Mm-hmm.
and more than half of them said, "Can you show the Italian street, please? Because we don't understand why you have this teeny car on the street."
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
they have mostly SUV or pickup,
Yeah.
and it's very strange, because in Italy we don't have pickup,
Yeah.
because our streets are very tiny. We need to have car for this type of street, but they don't know, because they don't understand
Yeah.
why. Not
Why? Yeah.
because they don't visit before Italy, okay, but they don't see also on Google Maps, okay. it's very
Yeah.
easy right now to have a trip without money because you can see on Instagram everything. Okay,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
understand the word, the color also in your room. But probably the curiosity is different from different country. They think that their country is enough. Okay,
Mm. Yeah.
for Italian people is totally different. Our country is one of the best in the world, okay, for resorts, for beaches or monuments and so on. But we are explorator. We want to explore outside. Okay, this is our nature. Okay, and when we are tired, we have a drink. Okay, we have a coffee. This is important, okay, to regenerate ourselves and discover new. Okay.
Yeah. So now I think we are reaching the end of the podcast,
Okay.
and just couple of more questions just to know a little bit more about you. So, if what's something that you're still earning even today? Like, I know we have to evolve, and as designers we have to keep learning and keep inspiring ourselves, keep simulating ourselves, like you said yourself, that you have to constantly learn about different cultures and different things around you, get inspired. So
Mm.
what's something that you are still learning?
Yes, usually we say that we have to learn until the end of your life, but I think that managing people, situation is the best challenge because every time the world is changing, and also new generation think in a different way. We born in a different world. I have a 45 years old, and also speak or work with 20 years old guys is totally different right now. Respect 20 years ago. The idea of the new generation is to work free, to work at home, to work less. When we start to work, it was the opposite. Uh, Work was to find a job, and work was a mission, life mission. Okay, and it's totally difficult right now to manage that when your employees think about different missions respective. This is the best challenge, and also the market is changing, and when we start to work as employed or as a company studio, the automotive field was good, was interesting. Right now, looks like different. All the new generation prefer the bicycle or other vehicle, alternative vehicles, and the car is not the center of the world. Okay,
Got Yeah.
when I was 18 was my first things. For me, have a car is so important. Okay, right now it's not so important for guys, and you have to change this mentality because right now our clients usually have 50, 60. Okay, but in the future we will have clients that right now have 20, and I don't know what will happen with our film. The important thing is to work on a brand for me, and for Kamal is a brand, and I would like to propose and to push my brand as a philosophy of family feeling, and
Yeah.
it's not only for car, it's for vehicle. Okay, vehicle, object, products, and also teaching, because for me a very important part of my path is to teach what I have learned. Okay, because I hope that teaching new generation the good method can help us in the future to do our job.
Yeah.
Um, but if you don't teach to the young generation, you can't comply in the future if you don't have help from the young generation. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is my mindset in this moment.
Which is actually a really great one, because if you don't give back and if you don't teach the younger generations,
Mm.
it's just all that you have learned is gonna go to waste, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
of
go
course.
away with you. And
This is what I think.
yeah,
But a lot of people of my age
mm,
are afraid about to to don't have work because if the new generation come in your field,
yeah,
you are obsolete. Okay,
mm,
because right now, for example, the 3D modeling is on Blender. A lot of
yeah,
car designer work on Blender, but
yeah,
Blender is the last 4 or 5 years. Okay,
yeah,
but people like me that work on Alias or
mm,
other software
mm-hmm,
see this as a bad moment because if the guys choose the short way, okay,
mm,
after that they can't understand the hard way, okay, and they can't create car only with AI or a Blender.
yeah,
They can't use this tool
yeah,
to develop the project, but they have to learn the method before,
yeah,
and it's very hard. We try, our generation try to is trying to teach this, but young generations have no time for anything. Okay, have no
mm,
time to spend in learning, have no time to spend in exercise, and they want to change everything in after 1 year. I have
yeah,
learned everything in 1 year. No, it's
mm,
not like that. I spent 8 years inside a company before starting a different challenge. Okay, because say, okay, I have learned and now I can have
move,
a step forward.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
but if you think to have this in 1 year on in months,
mm,
you're not understood. Every time I receive a new CV, I see on the CV every 6 months, 1 year, they change the company. You can't
mm,
learn a method or a job in 6 months. You have to
mm,
spend 2, 3, minimum 3 years inside a company to understand this. But right now the time is different.
mm,
You can see this on the movie. In the past, there's the movie. Right now, are only series
yeah,
because people have no time to spend 1.5 hour on the screen to see a movie. Okay,
yeah,
they
yeah,
want half and half to see a part of a series. Okay,
mm,
and after
yeah,
that they see all the series in a one night. Yeah,
yeah,
it's very strange. Okay, but new generation have no time to spend. They want all in a short time. Okay,
yeah,
and this is the important gap that we have. And as a
mm,
teacher, as a leader of a group, my daily challenge is this one: to be quiet, to teach that you need to have to spend time to become great. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
invest invest time.
I think um, as a younger generation, I'm almost 20 years younger to you,
Yeah.
and I also feel the same, like what you have said. Uh, it's just that the industry is moving so fast, and people expect you to work fast and fast and fast. So you automatically choose to like choose tools which will make your process simpler and faster. But at the same time, and this is just I think personal thing that I do. Um, I'm a person who is more analog than digital. So if I have to, like, my choices in general are very old school. So if I have to read a book, for example, I would never read a book on a digital platform.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't.
Good choice.
Yeah, I need to hold the book to like really
Mhm.
get immersed with it. If I have to start my brainstorming session, I would not do it on a Cintiq. I would do it on pen and paper. So I think that's just probably me, or at least people surrounding me. There are still few youngsters who would want to go back and choose older methods to like do it, but then even us, we are faced with a lot of difficult choices because the world around us is moving too fast,
Yes.
and in the process of keeping up and trying to still hold on to some methods, I think we still have to together, like your generation and my generation together, probably will have to find a way which is more balanced, which is not too time consuming, but yet holds the same ethos, and is still making us industry relevant. So I think there is a bit of a stretch that exists today, and we are, I think, all just trying to figure it out at this point.
Yeah, yeah, but the point is, if you learn how to become a 3D modeler,
Mm,
if you learn the method of modeling, you
yeah,
can change software. You change
mm,
only icons and softwares, okay? But
yeah,
your value is in 3D modeling. But
got it.
if you learn only one software and you
Yeah,
don't understand the method, if the
method.
software expire or change, you are you are in trouble. This
Yeah.
is the method is most important than the software. Every day right now all is fast, okay? But today Blender is a trend, okay?
Mm,
But if Blender change
tomorrow.
and you use only Blender, you are in trouble. But if you know how Blender works behind, you
Mm,
probably can change the software in an easy way.
yeah.
This is what happened. If you right now starting to design with AI, you
Mm-hmm.
can't understand how works the process to arrive to design. Okay,
Yeah.
the inspiration. How, for example, we prefer when we start a process, we prefer to open books.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of books behind me. We have
Mm-hmm.
a library because if you search on Google sportive car,
Mm-hmm.
Google select for you sportive car. But if you open a book of sportive car, you
Mm-hmm.
can see a 50s sportive car, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the wrong way that I told you when we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you open a book, you can see something that you are not looking for. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is
Mm-hmm.
the wrong way, the contamination that
Mm-hmm.
AI can't give you,
Yeah.
because they use what you suggest, or they use what they have around. But
Yeah.
the wrong way is our value to
Mm-hmm.
to to not to evolve, but to revolve. It's difficult. Okay, it's not an
Mm-hmm.
evolution; it's a revolution. What we have to do every day. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think that makes so much sense because the I'm gonna take away this the method
Mm,
and the tool.
yeah.
And I think the difference is right there. I think our even like the new all the design schools, right? I think they really need to put this forward in front of all the students and upcoming designers that there's a method and there's a tool. You
Mm,
can use multiple tools to do that one method, but if you don't understand that method, none of your tools can really help you,
yes, of
and
course.
you can't do a design that you want to do. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I'm going to take today. So thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
You're welcome.
And I wish to have more conversation with you, but I think we are on a little bit of a time crunch.
Yeah.
So hopefully you had fun and all of your insights are going to help me. And I'm sure it's going to help everyone else on our platform watching this podcast. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I love to help young generation in this way.
No, we want more people like you. We want more leaders like you to come forward and help us because it's trust me, it's very easy being in this generation to get lost
I
and
know.
have a lot of anxiety. So when people like you come forward and have this teeny tiny conversation with us, it's just makes hell lot of a difference. So thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.